What up, y'all? 210 West Radio back with another episode. It's been been a long time since I've actually done 210 West Radio. Let's get into it. I'm going to be doing a lot of interviews via video chat and people live in studio. But today is just me. I wanted to talk a little bit about some current topics. Let's talk about the Lakers and LeBron's return. Yesterday was Sunday. LeBron returned to action. I didn't think he looked really particularly well. He was moving a little tender on his foot. Lakers lost. I think they play better without him. Been saying that for a while now, and I hate to say it, but it is what it is. They lost again, so they moved back down. But fortunately for them, other teams lost as well. So I do feel they will make the play-in tournament just because everyone else is so horrible. It's basically about the best of the worst, right? Okay, moving along. Last week we had a lot of rain in California. There was a tornado in Montebello. They keep saying LA or downtown LA, and it's LA County, but it's not. It's not LA, but it's funny how they do that. So I saw a lot of footage of it. It's not too far from where I reside, actually, and shit was crazy, man. I wouldn't call it a real tornado. With people who live in the region of tornadoes happen on a regular basis, it wasn't that, but it was a small twister. So yeah, that's crazy that we are getting this kind of weather. Now we've got so much rain in California. My father's in Virginia. He talks about less rain than I do. It's crazy. Marlon Wayans dropped a comedy special for those of who saw it. I didn't see it in its entirety, but I saw quite a few clips. Maybe I have seen the whole thing now that I think about it. But Marlon has stepped his comedy up. A lot of people didn't know he did stand up, and he hasn't always done it, but he's been working on it for years. And you can tell that he took a lot of pages from Dave Chappelle's book. The buildup of some of the jokes and just the way he did it overall, pretty dope. So shout out to Marlon Wayans. If you haven't seen that stand-up special, go and see it. Another thing, Rick Pitino. And I don't know if any of you guys know who Rick Pitino is. Rick Pitino is a coach, college coach, world-renowned college coach. He also tried in the NBA with the Celtics, didn't work, and he ran back to college. He's coached Kentucky, Louisville. Recently, Iona State, which is a mid-major, and he was trying to get back up into good graces, and he recently got the job with St. John's University. Now, it's crazy because, this guy has had some of the most crazy, heinous infractions. He was sleeping with another of his assistant coach's wife. He twisted it into him being extorted, crazy. Hired strippers for incoming freshmen, recruits, all kind of crazy stuff. And he keeps getting this job. And this is good old boy system that we always talk about. Happens in professional basketball, more popularly in professional football, where you see the coach who couldn't get a job file a grievance against the NFL for collusion. Now, I want to know in the comments what you guys think. Why do you think these coaches, these white coaches in particular, keep getting jobs even though they get all these recruiting violations and infractions from the NCAA and get these schools put on probation for 10 years and they still get another job somewhere else? What do you think it is? Is it race? Is it, we're talking about guys who never played basketball before, ever. So I want to look up some of the rules that he's violated over the years. Let's see. Oh my goodness, this guy is crazy, man. So hiring strippers. Goodness gracious. 8 of the 64 violations, including giving plane tickets to players, arranging for athletes to get used cars, and giving out coupons for free food at McDonald's, and that may not seem like a big deal, but we're talking years ago before the NCAA allowed these guys to get their name and image and likeness profitized for their own, monetary gain. So before you couldn't get anything. Now I played the AAU circuit basketball. We got shoes, we got money before games. Never on this scale, but it starts at a young age. Getting shoes, they try to recruit you for high school. While you're in junior high or elementary school, we were traveling. We were getting merchandise, bags, shoes, Nike, LA Gear, Reebok, you name it. And they were trying to influence us at a young age on what high school and what college to go to. So for kids who maybe weren't like me that had a father, our two parents that were working in the household, it's a chance that a lot of those things would have enticed me a lot more. But it was different for me. And I saw a lot of kids who didn't have parents or fathers, and these high school coaches would basically raise these kids, and you stay with the coach during AAU, and eventually you end up going to his high school. And if you made it to the NBA or college, a lot of times you'd be bringing that coach with you to get an assistant position, the school you're going to, or even to the NBA. So it happens. So as far back as I can remember, it was always a thing. But back to Rick Pitino. He confessed he had an affair with the wife of a team's equipment manager and paid her to have an abortion. And somehow he flipped it into her trying to extort him for millions of dollars. He also provided strippers and prostitutes to players and recruits in the campus dorm over several years. I'm going to stop right there. But leave in the comments of why you guys think that these people continue to get jobs. I'm going to keep it in sports for a second. I was in the barbershop the other day. Shout out to my boy Remo. I went back after going to a different cat for a couple of weeks. I like both of their cuts, but conveniency is everything. We got to talking about top five players, and I said, how about we just do a starting five? And everybody in the barbershop agreed. So I heard crazy top fives Draymond Green was in somebody's top five, so this shit is crazy, right? But anyway, I came up with my starting top five, and I'll tell you my starting top five, and I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comments. LeBron, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, cliche, Tim Duncan, not sexy, obviously, and Shaquille O'Neal, who I think is the most dominant player ever to play the game. So, Steph, LeBron, Jordan, Tim Duncan, and Shaq. Let me know what you think. And there was a number of answers people gave. So in the barbershop, topics go from here to there, and immediately after this, people went to top five rappers. And I said the same thing. It's pretty difficult to give you top five rappers, especially me being an MC myself. I'm biased. I'm gonna say myself, right? So I gave my top starting five for rappers, and let me know what you guys think on that one. Cannabis, Eminem, cliche, I know, it's like Jordan. Pharoah Monch. Some of you guys may not even know who Pharoah Monch is. If you don't, he was in Organized Confusion even before a solo artist. So check him out. Dope MC, Brooklyn MC. This one was a little difficult, but Kendrick Lamar. Like I said, this is a starting five, so I'm coming out to win the game. And then number five, Razzcast. Like I said, I'm coming out to win the game. Now, I want to reiterate, these are not top five artists. These are top five rappers. Riggedy rap. Rapping ass motherfuckers. That's what I'm talking about. Rap. Let me know what you think about that in the comments too. So I said Cannabis, Eminem, Pharoah Monch, Kendrick Lamar, and Razzcast. All right. Those are my starting five rappers, period. So anyway, It's good to be back on 210 West Radio. It'll be a different format. I was doing blog talk radio, I'm years ago, so I'm bouncing around with a couple different sites and programs to see what I'm going to like better. So I've got a lot of interviews lined up, but before I get into doing a lot of interviews, I want to make sure that this is on point first. Quality is king and content is king, so I want to make sure I have a little bit of both. So that's it for right now. 210 West Radio, I just wanted to touch bases, go over a couple different topics, and that's it. If you have a brand or a product that you're pushing and you would like to be a guest on 210 West Radio, because that's also something that we're going to focus on, you can send an email to 210westradio@gmail.com, and that's 210westradio, all one word, at gmail.com. Shoot me a text, 585-210, of course, 9378, which is 585-210-WEST. And if I can, I'll put it on the screen to scroll. Other than that, follow me on the ground. One more thing. I woke up this morning to email, I believe it was, or an alert from Instagram offering to blue check me for $15 a month. I'm curious if anybody else got that, and if they did get it, what do they think about that? Because imagine blue checks being available for anyone who's willing to afford $15 a month. Doesn't that take away a little bit of it? I'm just curious what you guys think. I thought about it, I'm like, well, $15 a month for a blue check doesn't sound like a great deal of money, but the idea of anybody being able to do it takes away from the verification process of it, of being somebody that is a highly sought out person, which is what it originally stood for. Anyway, leave in the comments, let me know what you think. This is 210 West Radio. Peace.